This chapter reveals the appearance of the Ice Elves, including their leader, alongside Sung Jin Woo's group. This is where we'll witness Sung Jin Woo's intense battle against the dungeon boss. It's incredibly exciting. There's a plot twist where Kim Chul will betray his fellow hunters. Hi, this is Anime Clickbait. So, let's discuss Chapter 53 of Solo Leveling, or Episode 2, Part 2. If you're new to our channel, please hit follow and subscribe for more videos. I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's go. In the first panel, if you look closely, Sung Jin Woo is already in battle mode, preparing to confront the dungeon boss. Unexpectedly, the Ice Elves boss speaks, proposing something to Jin Woo. If he doesn't accept, the boss has a question. Why is Jin Woo fighting alongside humans? For the Ice Elves, Jin Woo is an anomaly. They know he's not human because he understands their language. Our protagonist is surprised and asks what the dungeon boss is talking about. The boss laughs and explains to Jin Woo that in their minds, they're told to kill humans. But this is reversed when they see Sung Jin Woo's presence. Simply put, within this dungeon, Sung Jin Woo isn't considered a monster being, a human they should eliminate. This sparks suspicion in our protagonist. He realizes he's a player, recognized by the system. So the monsters definitely see him as a player, not a human. That's why the boss negotiates with him, knowing a fight would be useless. The boss declares that fighting would be pointless, leading to unnecessary casualties. He adds that Sung Jin Woo should leave the humans behind him if he wants to survive. After hearing this, Jin Woo asks who the Ice Elves are, where they come from, and why they're killing humans. Before the boss can answer, a glitch occurs. The system changes their conversation, returning the boss's speech to their negotiation, stating that Sung Jin Woo won't be affected if he leaves the humans. Sung Jin Woo notices the dungeon boss avoiding his questions and responds that he won't leave the humans behind. This prompts a serious reaction from the Ice Elves, and their leader asks if Sung Jin Woo plans to fight them all. The boss emphasizes the difficulty of this for our protagonist, especially with their numbers. Sung Jin Woo responds, "You mean in numbers?" Unexpectedly, Sung Jin Woo's shadow army suddenly appears behind him. Jin Woo's fellow hunters, initially believing it to be an enemy, are shocked. But they realize it's one of Sung Jin Woo's abilities, his Shadow Monarch power. When the boss sees Sung Jin Woo's shadow army, he smiles and calls it a cheap trick. Our protagonist is insulted by the boss's words and orders his shadow army to attack. They manage to defeat some of the Ice Elf boss's subordinates. Following this, the intense battle between the Shadow Army and the Ice Elves begins. As you can see in this panel, the other hunters who were with Sung Jin Woo run away because the fight between the two sides is becoming intense. Sung Jin Woo is a little disappointed because his shadow army might not be able to handle the Ice Elves. Even though they're immortal, once they're reduced, their respawn rate decreases or their number shrinks. This also consumes a lot of Jin Woo's mana. The calculation was wrong. His shadow army can keep up with the Ice Elves because they've been through a lot and have leveled up. But there's only one thing that's making his army suffer: the dungeon boss. He's consuming all his shadow army. According to Sung Jin Woo, just by looking at him, he's different. He's incredibly strong. Even if he teamed up with Igris, they wouldn't be able to defeat the dungeon boss, even with his shadow army. In this panel, Sung Jin Woo stares intently at Kim Chul's body. Then, after a few moments, the boss suddenly speaks and reveals his true name, Baruka. He asks Sung Jin Woo his name. Sung Jin Woo responds by stating his full name. After that, as you can see, Sung Jin Woo kicks Kim Chul's sword, and swiftly, as shown in the panel, the sword flies towards Kim Chul. Our hero then attacks with a downward swing of his dagger. Unfortunately, the dungeon boss quickly dodges it. The dungeon boss leader is confused. He thought he stepped on Sung Jin Woo's dagger, but surprisingly, it disappears and initiates another attack. Baruka immediately anticipates the hero's movement and uses his dagger to deflect it. As Sung Jin Woo presses his dagger, Baruka counterattacks. He uses his knee to strike Sung Jin Woo on the side. It's successful. As you can see, Jin Woo is thrown far away, but thankfully, he immediately gets back on his feet. The dungeon boss speaks and says that in his entire life, he's never felt this kind of excitement, which is from fighting Jin Woo. Unexpectedly, above the dungeon boss, an elemental attack, a fireball, is heading towards him. It successfully hits the dungeon boss. It came from our hero's shadow army Tusk. Jin Woo says that it's good that his magician Tusk was able to hit Baruka. This gave him some time. In the next panel, as you can see, Kim Chul regains consciousness and stands up. He suspects that Jin Woo hit him based on the voice he heard. He sees the sword that Jin Woo kicked towards him, so he uses it to get revenge on Jin Woo. After our hero's magician hits Baruka, Jin Woo tells the dungeon boss to stop pretending, because, he says, that simple attack isn't enough to bring him down. So, Baruka shouldn't waste any more time. We see a silhouette slowly walking towards Jin Woo. The dungeon boss says, "Is that all his shadow army can do?" As he says this, he suddenly runs towards our hero. A female hunter shouts that Kim Chul is going to attack him from behind. Basically, Jin Woo is surrounded, because the leader of the Ice Elves is going to attack him from the front, and Kim Chul will surprise attack him from behind. The dungeon boss says that he's not the only one who wants to finish Jin Woo. His fellow hunter Kim Chul also wants to finish him. And here, Jin Woo suddenly speaks. He says that his guess was right, which is that Kim Chul is planning to attack him. So in short, Jin Woo's plan to kick the sword towards Kim Chul was all part of his plan, because he wants Kim Chul to attack him, so he can use the body of the A-rank hunter, which will give him a reason to finish him and use his body to join his shadow army. If we remember, Jin Woo was thinking of a plan to get another powerful shadow soldier to team up with Igris to fight Baruka, the dungeon boss. And here, Jin Woo calls Igris. Igris manages to stab Kim Chul in the chest, causing him to vomit blood. And here, Kim Chul realizes that Jin Woo planned everything from the start. After a few moments, Kim Chul loses consciousness because of Igris's fatal attack. So this is the signal for Jin Woo to use his body. The dungeon boss is amused by what he sees, Jin Woo killing his fellow hunter. He says that what's happening is very interesting, but nothing will change because Jin Woo still won't win against him. Unexpectedly, Jin Woo suddenly speaks, "Arise!" And there, Chapter 53 of Solo Leveling ends.